Anchor is a fantastic platform for podcasting. It's so simple. It's remarkable. Even I could do it, and it's free distribution, free recording, easy, simple, elegant to use framework, great tools. Um, if you're going to pick one podcasting forum, platform, it should definitely be Anchor. I highly recommend it. Digital assets and expertise. The way I make money in business is through digital assets and expertise. Let me explain. So, throughout history, most of the world has been analog rather than digital. So it's, who had the bigger cave probably when we were prehistoric, who killed the biggest animal when we were hunters, who grew the most crops when we were agriculture, who produced the most widgets or the most cars when we were mass manufacturing and assembly lines. But today we live in the information age, and increasingly even in the post-information age. And content, especially evergreen content, is where you make your money. So passive income is kind of like a mixed bag because, some of it's kind of like not so good, and some of it, really works. But to really work, you have to produce great value. So there's a big upfront time, sweat equity cost. But if you have great evergreen content, evergreen means that it's always timely. Some content is not timely over time. It's just timely at the time that it's produced. But then 6 months, a year or 2 years later, it's dated. You want to produce, it's up to you what you want to produce, but if you want to have the strongest passive income, you want to produce evergreen content that always, always is timely. Some things that, talk about human values or talk about, things that don't go in and out of style are by definition timeless. So let me talk a little bit about digital assets and expertise. They talk about multiple streams of income. With digital assets, the cost goes down to zero for each. Like for software, you have the development cost, but then for each additional piece of software, if you want to even call it a piece, because software isn't pieces anymore, the marginal cost is almost zero. So what happens is you can make huge amounts of money because, of the scale. Like Uber, for example, they have their app and they have to develop their app. And they have, a certain amount of maintenance costs and different things. But, each new customer they get basically costs zero. I mean, they have marketing costs, but, you don't have to develop a new app each time you get a new customer. So you can get one customer, 100 customers, 1,000, as long as your app is scalable. It's the same thing with Facebook. I mean, they have to add more servers, which is expensive. But, Facebook is up to like, I think about 2 billion people. For monthly active users, something like that. So digital assets can really, be extremely lucrative. Now, digital expertise is kind of like before, in life, you were a banker or you were a farmer or you were a janitor. Those are analog expertise. Like, do you know how to fix a light bulb or do you know how to fix a car? Those are valuable skills, but cars are kind of like computers on wheels now, so it's a little bit more digital also. But especially like with Tesla and everything, where they do their updates automatically. But be that as it may, if you have expertise to help people be able to do passive income, to help them be able to do e-commerce, which is what we do, to help them be able to do, the other online skills like, Amazon or other types of skills, book publishing, Kindle, I do that as well. Then your expertise is much more scalable because, coaching one-on-one, if you still do it that way, but, for example, online courses, I'm starting to do that. You could teach one person an online course or you could teach 10,000 people. So if you really want to scale, then, start thinking about what is your expertise in terms of digital assets and expertise. Now, because Gary Vaynerchuk says every company is a content company, every company has digital. You could be a flower shop, but you could, have the best YouTube channels about flower. That's digital content and expertise. You could be a mechanic, but you could have, connections on LinkedIn, or you could have Twitter information, or you could have YouTube. So any business that you're in can be digitized, just the content and information, and it should be if you want to get a gathering. And, it's time for you, if you're ready, to make your money through digital content and expertise.